Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
How would you like to make your first million in sales? And today we're gonna talk about a very important topic, which is wellness and how, as an entrepreneur, if you are healthy, if you are aligned, and you're mentally in flow, you can perform better and you can achieve your first million faster. Today we have Farzin join us from Toronto. So can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you for having me on the show. It's a pleasure to be here. Yeah, my name is Farzin. I'm a holistic wellness practitioner, and I'm actually a coach for aligning you with your goals. So I can talk about different topics that we usually face because, sometimes you set a goal for yourself and then you start moving towards it, and then you notice that your goal is getting further and further from you. There is something between you and your goal that stays the same. So you run and your goal is running faster than you can't reach it. So we're going to discuss about that today.
Yeah, let's talk about that because a entrepreneurial life it become is stressful, especially when you are starting your company. When you are from this path from 0 to 1 million, I mean, you're building your company, and you have to wear all the hats, right? Because you don't have
Yeah.
resources to employ people, so you need to do your own account, your own sales. You need to do the product development. You have to do your marketing. And when you have a small company and you have the startup, you need to wear all the hats. And this, let's face it, is a very stressful situation. And until so, how important is for the entrepreneur that they work on themselves and they manage this stress in order to achieve better results?
So the most important thing is to be ready for that success, because most of us are not ready. So we have something in mind, and we know that it is good for us to achieve a specific uh, target that we want to go for, but we are not ready yet. That's where the self-sabotage comes to play. And we all experience that. You want to lose weight, you try, you go to the diet, and at the end, when you're getting successful, you start eating
Eating
whatever
again.
you shouldn't be
Tell me about
eating
it.
and stuff. So you shoot yourself in the foot, That is
Yeah,
usually the process people
yeah.
are dealing with. And that is very normal. I can explain how the detail is for that process so we can understand more about that topic and what we can do about it. That is something that we can discuss today.
Let's talk about this fasting because you 100% right. Everybody's talking how to deal with failure, but nobody talks about how to deal with success. Yes, and let me tell you a story
Mm.
regarding that. Right, in my life as an entrepreneur, I started my first business, and the business was doing well, was doing so well that I didn't need to go to the office, and was making very good money even without me even having to go to the office. And I I went to this self-sabotage process, right? Like, I
Yeah.
was feeling uncomfortable at home. Oh my God, I'm not working. All this money coming and I'm not working. This is something wrong with me. Then I went there and I opened a restaurant in Berlin, and I lost 200,000 pounds and 2 years of my life, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's exactly for what you say, right?
Mhm.
Lot of people, yeah, there is a big topic about how to deal with failure and how to you come back from failure. Yeah. However, nobody talks about how to deal with success. And
Mhm.
if the entrepreneur is not ready for the success, um, guarantee this self-sabotage is one of the things that could happen. It happened to me, so it can happen to
Yeah.
anyone else. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, that's the fear of success. Yeah, as you said, everybody is talking about fear of failure as
Yeah,
a barrier, but nobody talks about fear of success.
yeah.
But fear of success is even stronger than fear of failure. And so the process is that you want something and you know that something is good for you. But the problem is that so we have to have that preparation beforehand. Why? Because I'm here, my goal is in front of me, I'm not there yet. It means that there's a distance between us. And so, what has brought me up to here, where I'm standing, is going to move me forward. If it doesn't change, I'm not going to change. I have to change first, and then the situation changes. And that change is mostly in our beliefs and in our emotions and those kind of things. So it's a self-reflection process. So I usually say that there are three types of success. So the first one, I call it the three-dimensional success. Three-dimensional success is by chance. You are at home and then so you are blaming everybody because of your failure and stuff, and all of a sudden you win a lottery. What happens is, so it is by chance. You won the lottery. You are not ready for that. It means that that is the statistics that says that a lot of people who win the lottery file bankruptcy after a couple of years because they are not ready for that, they are they didn't work towards getting to that level to match their frequency with that type of lifestyle. So they don't accept that inside. So they do something stupid and they lose all the money. That is the process. And the second type of success, I call it the four-dimensional success. So what is the four-dimensional success? In four-dimensional success, we say that I'm gonna get out of my comfort zone. It is in my hand. I never give up. I go towards my goal and do whatever it takes to get there. And then the problem, so it's a good process because we are getting out of our comfort zone. We are doing something productive for ourselves. But the problem is that we have to face the hustle and grind. It means that the barriers that we have to face them. So it is like facing a giant. So I give you an example. Let's say that we are in a train and the train is moving south. And then all of a sudden we decide to move north. We are inside the train, so we walk north inside the train. But where do we end up at the end of the day? Of course, because the train is going south. Even if we are going north, the train is going south. So that train is our subconscious mind. That train is all the programmings that we have. So all the beliefs, all the habits, all the behaviors, repetitive behaviors that we carry with ourselves. Those kind of things determine where we end up. Even if we decide to go another way, another direction, it doesn't matter. That train is going south. So so we have a very hard time to battle with that train. We have to just have a lot of force to be able to stop that train and change the direction and so on. So that is the fourth dimensional success. It is not impossible, but we are not going to be enjoying our time when we are doing that. Even if we get to the target, we have sore body and we have wounds all over the place. It's all our shirts are ripped off and stuff
it's
because
a
we are
hard battle, right?
battling. Yeah, it's a constant battle. But what if there is an easier way to success? Do you
Hmm.
want to hear about the easier way about
Definitely.
success?
Yeah, late.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that is the 5-dimensional success, I call it. And I call it the playful success. So that is when you are aligned with your goal on a subconscious and conscious level in your heart and in your gut. Everything is aligned. And then life is a play. Life is a dance to the rhythm of, so you can dance to the rhythm of life that way. So it is the smooth sail. So you don't need to just have that energy and battle to go climb the mountain to go to the top. You can sail, you can take the boat and sail down to the ocean easily. That is the difference. So when you're aligned, everything is in place. So let's talk about how we get to that point.
Hold on one second. Let's talk about the battle first, because when we come to goal setting, right?
Yeah.
I get you 100% what you're sharing with us, because I'm at the moment I'm in a weight loss challenge, right? I lost like 12 kilos in the last 33 days, right? And I have another goal aiming to lose 11 this month, right? In the next 33 days. And this battle with the unconscious mind, oh my God, every night I'm like, oh my God, I want to eat, but I know that I cannot eat, and I want to eat, and I know what I want. So every evening is this battle that I have to win with discipline, but it's very exhausted battle between
Yeah.
the conscious and the unconscious mind, right? Because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, the unconscious mind is driving me to the fridge to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Go and eat. Forget about this. Look how wonderful food you have in the fridge, and I really know that if I have it, I won't miss. I definitely won't achieve the goal, because we are measuring everything we're doing, right? And
Yeah.
so the battle with the unconscious mind is exhausted, right? It's very
Mm-hmm.
tiring, right?
Yeah.
And it's a hard battle. So, and this goes with any goal, it doesn't matter. For example, if you're smoking, right?
Yeah.
I used to smoke before and quit. If you're smoking, right, and you want to quit, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
After you quit, I know, because I quit. So I
Mm-hmm.
know what is involved in the process. You actually
Yeah.
have to trick your mind, because
Mm-hmm.
the mind is pushing you constantly every day. Go and get the cigarette. Go and get the cigarette. So how? What are the ways that we can that we can do with this battle with unconscious mind more doable without having this fight, like you said? Because at the end of the day, maybe it could be a source of stress as well. And
Yeah.
I always say, physical, emotional pain, right? When you're
Mm-hmm.
stressed out, when you have things, it leads to physical pain, and people can end up sick, right? And so many entrepreneurs, very successful, multimillionaires. We there are a lot of stories out there that they become very wealthy, they make a fortune, but then they die at 50, they die at 60, they have a cancer, and nobody knows what happened. And what happened is that, the way that he built that success, it was not in a way that it was aligned uh, with themselves, and then they end up with what we call it, from emotional pain to physical pain, and they end up with the cancer. Or same Hollywood uh, actors and famous people in Hollywood, already multimillionaire, that they achieve uh, everything, and then they commit suicide. One of the cases, Dustin Hoffman, right? I don't know
Yeah.
if you're aware of the case, right? So someone
Yeah.
that have everything, everything.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most successful actors of all times, and then commit suicide, and people don't know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a bit more. What about this battle with the conscious and unconscious in goal setting?
Sure. So, yeah, Regarding whatever you mentioned, it's very interesting the effect of the emotional health on our physical health. I give you an example. About 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago, I had an injury at work. And so I injured my shoulder and back. And so I had a hard time at the time to deal with it. There was a lot of physical pain involved, and I
Mhm.
lost my job, the job that I was doing at the time
Because of
because
the
of that.
injury.
Yeah, I
Wow.
couldn't, I had a lot of pain. So I lost my job, and then I had to find another job. But the problem was that that pain stayed with me for about 15 years.
Wow.
And they call it a chronic pain. Chronic pain is
Yes.
when the pain stays more than 6 months. By that time, by 6 months, all the cells in your body is regenerated to the new ones. So if the pain is still exists, it means there's something else behind it, which is
Wow.
not physical. So
Wow.
at the time, I went to all the specialists I could find. I took all the medications, a lot of MRI tests. Nobody could find anything. Nobody could tell me what it is. So it was an invisible condition. Nobody could see the whatever that is behind. Then I met a friend of mine, and she said, maybe I can help you. I said, how you can? I was thinking to myself, how this person can help me? I went to all the specialists, they couldn't do anything. And she said, I'm gonna give you a couple of phone calls. She just called me and she started releasing the emotional baggage that I was carrying because of that accident, because there is something called trapped emotions. When you are facing an emotion, for example, you are in a traffic, somebody cut you off, you get mad, and then at the time you are tired, your subconscious mind doesn't process that anger completely, so it stores it in your bodies, and so you start carrying that energy in your body, and then it affects your organs, it affects other things in your body because its vibration is lower than the average vibration that you have in your body. So it brings you down. The same thing happens for stress and anxiety and so on. So you are in a stressful situation, you cannot handle it completely, you store that stress in your body. And that is something that a lot of entrepreneurs experience because they have to go through that battle that I talked to you about, and then they have to face all those barriers, and then it takes a toll on their body, emotional body, so they carry all those
Agree
energy.
100%.
Mm.
Agree
Mm.
100%. We all
And
in
then
business has experienced this.
yeah, so she released those emotions and she said that I see you can do the same thing for others as well. So it started opening my eyes because I noticed that my 15 years pain was gone completely after that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, because every week I had to go to therapy during that 15 years to just release the pain that I had because I would get frozen shoulder. I couldn't move. I had to go to physiotherapy or massage therapy or acupuncture or something to
I
just get relief.
was all in your head, right?
Yeah. And then it was gone. The emotional baggage that I was carrying. And she explained that everybody carries about 200, more than 200 of those trapped emotions on average. So
Wow.
that
Wow.
is why as we age, our load is getting accumulated. Because if you have the stress trap emotion in your body, you are vulnerable to that. Every stressful situation that you face, you might get more of those baggages. And then it's like carrying a backpack full of stones that is getting heavier and heavier as you age. That's why people face that kind of dilemma. So it's not a healthy success. So you have the success on the outside, but you are burning on the inside. It's not healthy. So,
No, no,
yeah.
definitely no. Healthy can literally kill you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
As
I
you just gave those examples, it was reminding me that how important this topic is.
Oh
And
yeah, we are
mm,
very aware. We are very
mm,
aware that that how important is this topic. We own a book publishing company, and some of the books that we publish for entrepreneurs, they have wrote about the topic, right? About
yeah,
how to be aligned and how to be in peace while you are building your business. Because imagine, right? And I,
yeah,
I understand 100% what you're saying, because it goes, let's face it, we have challenges in life sometimes that they are really painful, right? Because it's painful that you have an accident in your work that is not even your fault,
mm,
and because of this you cannot move your shoulder, and because of this you lose your job, and because of this you need to find another job, and when you find this job you don't like it, and they kick you out of this job, and then you need to find another one, and all this negativity out of this incident, you can get angry and angry and angry. You start to blame everything for something. You wonder why this is happening to me. This is not my fault, so it happened to me.
yeah,
And you get angry and angry and angry, and now all these emotions are stored, uh, and if you don't deal with it, if you don't work on yourself, they're not gonna go away. They're gonna stay there forever, and the more they are staying there, the more they are affecting you. Like I said, from the emotional pain, it was leading to physical pain. You actually have a pain that
mhm,
didn't exist, but it was emotionally uh, attached, and it was strong. And I'm sure if you don't deal with it, still you will taking more medicine. Imagine how difficult it is taking so many pills that you don't need, taking so many medicines that you don't need, and it's not anything. It's not gonna fix it because it's not in your it's not in your shoulders, in your head, right?
yeah, yeah,
So now
exactly.
imagine an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah,
An entrepreneur that when you start in the business, you don't have the best clients, because your product is not ready yet, so you sell your product to whoever you can, and obviously you will have a complaint for the client. Oh, your product is not good and whatever, and then you think, oh, I worked so hard for this product and this client is telling me this, and then you start in this negative thing, and then you improve the product, and then you have complaint, then you start to hire employees, but because you don't know, you don't have so much resources, then you hire the wrong people, so then you hire the employees, and then you pay them all your money that you have, you receiving zero, and then they're not doing nothing, and they still you doing all the work. All this is the normal
yeah,
path of the startup as an entrepreneur, right?
mhm,
In one way or the other one, this is how we all started, right?
mhm,
And a lot of negative baggage out of all those incidents get stored in the mind with the entrepreneur. The more years pass by, like you share with us, all this baggage, it keeps accumulating, can becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, until the point that it doesn't matter. The entrepreneur already have a million in the bank
mhm.
account, it's already achieved the goal, but there is something within themselves that they're not happy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's very interesting topic, and it that accident was actually a blessing in disguise because after that it changed the trajectory of my life. I
Yeah.
was an engineer and
Me
focused
too.
on
I'm an
technical
engineer.
things.
So
And
which engineer which engineer you study Farzin?
yeah, I was a mechanical, I
Ah,
studied mechanical
and,
engineering.
and chemical engineer myself.
Mechanical
You're
engineering.
mechanical, I'm
Yeah,
chemical. My
yeah.
cousins are also mechanical engineers. Okay, go
Mm.
ahead.
And
So
then I was analytical. I couldn't understand whatever that was happening to me. So it opened my eye to something new. So my eyes were open that there is some other things that is affecting us, not just it might not be physical, it might be emotional or mental. And then she suggested that you have a talent to go to that field too. So I started studying in that field and became an expert in releasing those trapped emotions and changing the beliefs and stuff, and I was seeing miracles in people's life when I was working on them.
I
So
believe you.
I decided this is the path I want to go. I'm just gonna forget about whatever I've learned before. I'm gonna start a new path as an entrepreneur. So that started my journey. So that accident was actually good. And a lot of things when happen to you at the time you have a hard time, later on you find out that there was something in it that I needed at the time. So I
Yeah.
started developing that view that universe is a friend of mine, not just my enemy. So because we usually have that kind of mindset that everything that
Yeah,
is
why this is
affecting,
happening to me, this
yeah,
accident, you build all the negativity, now you turn around the situation, now you're grateful because of the accident, because now you learn something new that changed your life and can change the life of others. And now
mm,
everything is turned from negativity to positivity, right? And look, I
yeah,
can see you very happy, very healthy. And let me tell you the best news. You know what's the best news? Let me tell you what's
mm,
the best news. The best
sure,
news is that now you have become an entrepreneur. And what we engineers, we are very good at when we become entrepreneurs. The reason for that is because when we go to university, yeah,
yeah,
chemical engineer, mechanical engineer, every time that when we go to the university in 5 years, the only word that we hear is the word problems. Yeah, there are
mm-hmm,
mathematical problems, there are physical problems, there are theoretical problems, but they are all problems, right? So
yeah,
we spend 5 years solving problems. They are
yeah,
not real, they are theoretical, but we spent 5 years in the university solving problems. So that gives us a capacity, a certain
mm-hmm,
training to solve problems. And when you become an entrepreneur and you start your own company, that's the only word
mm-hmm,
that you hear every day. More than
mm-hmm,
one problem, 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 problem. So us as an
mm-hmm,
engineers being entrepreneurs is fantastic because we receive problems every day, and we like to solve problems. This is what we have been
mm-hmm,
trained for, right? So
yeah,
there you go. Even your past growth, yeah,
mm, yeah,
again in a different way. So uh,
exactly.
you see now, and Steve Jobs always said you always can connect the dot backwards. Yes,
Mm-hmm,
no, so you can you once you the more you move in your life, you connect the dot backwards and say, because this happened to me, this happened to me, this is how I end up, right? But the most important thing is that you decided to work on yourself. You didn't give up. You were looking for solution. The problem was lack of knowledge, right? And
yeah,
that's why it's very important that we do this podcast. That's why it's very important that we share with people different knowledge that is out there, because when we have lack of knowledge, when we have a problem, right,
yeah,
and we don't have enough knowledge about how to solve that problem, and we took the wrong solution, or we try to solve it and we don't have all the elements, yeah, you can end up, who knows how many medicines you took that you didn't need, which is
mm-hmm,
definitely not good for your body.
mm,
Who knows how much 15 years in pain, that's a lot of
yeah,
time, yeah.
mm,
As Thanks God that you're an engineer, you managed to solve it, but it was 15 years, right? What if if we had that knowledge available, and people can, like I said, the people you're working now, creating, like you say, miracles, um, getting rid of this emotional baggage
yeah,
to deal with it faster. I know, for people that I know, right? Even my own dad, right?
mm-hmm,
My own dad, he lost his job. I'm telling you, long time ago, like 12 years ago, 15, long time ago. He lost his job and he was so angry because it was very unfair. He was making good money, and then all his life, he thought that all his life is gonna to collapse because of this, and he started to be angry about this and trying to find the lawyer to go back to get this job and what it is, and was so attached to the whole emotion about this job thing that actually end up with throat cancer, and very severe,
mm, mm,
to the point that the operation for my dad, it was in Spain. I was even in the newspaper, That's how difficult it was. It was 3 teams of doctors, right? It was so he developed a huge throat cancer, right?
Yeah.
And I know that because of the incident happens one after the other one. I know that because this anger, this negativity, this emotional negativity attachment for so long, fighting with that issue, right? That you get very angry. It's unfair,
Yeah.
especially when something is unfair. Your accident is not your fault. When something is unfair and your life make a change, right?
Mhm.
Because of that, and we feel that the fear, then eventually this baggage of negative emotion translate at some point with a physical emotion, right? And that's
Yeah.
why this topic is so important. That's why I'm so glad that we're having this conversation. Honestly, you made my day today, Farzin. So, Farzin, I'm gonna ask you a question, right?
Sure.
So, what are the 5 steps that the entrepreneur should be doing there to achieve the first million peacefully? Share it with us.
Yeah, that's a good question. But before that, I promised I'm gonna give you a tip how to align your conscious mind with your subconscious mind
Tell
towards
us,
your
tell us.
goal. So that is something that I want to share with the viewers.
Go ahead.
And so let's put it this way. We all have goals and we all know what to do to help us to move towards those goals. So those kind of little tasks called needle moving actions. We need to break the big goal into smaller tasks and find those needle moving actions. And then the problem is that when you start acting towards needle moving actions, the resistance comes. So we have to find a mechanism to be able to move and do those actions. So I'm going to give you the mechanism. It's very simple. So the first thing, you have to change the label from the task to game. There is a reason for that. So when we are facing a problem, there is a negativity in problem. But when we change the name to challenge, then we are pumped. We are ready to face that challenge. We just changed the name. We didn't do much.
I
We
agree
just changed the
100%.
label.
100%.
Yeah, we just changed the label from problem to challenge. So we changed the label from task to game. So that is the first part. So actually, in my book, I have a 10-step process for dealing with those kind of things, but I'm gonna shorten it in 3 steps. Do you want to hear about the three
Yeah,
steps?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
the
Show us
core
your
of
book
that.
also. What is your book? Show us your book. What is it?
So yeah, I talk about the book after I go through that process.
Okay, go ahead.
That is another story as well. So what is the process? So the 3 steps. The first step is called the game plan. The second step is warm up. And the third step is playing the game. So that's as easy as that. So you break those uh, the goals to smaller tasks. You name them games. So you have the small games to play. So before you go to bed, that is the best time for programming your subconscious mind, because your vibration is at the alpha state. So you are at the alpha state, you can penetrate through the subconscious. That is the best time. Never lose that time, because we usually worry about whatever we have to do. We usually blame ourselves, and we go through all the negativity before we go to bed. So we are putting all that crap inside our subconscious mind and make it stronger. Why do we do that? So we can change it. We can use that time. That is the golden time. Use that time. So use it for what? Use it for the game plan that you want to play the next day. So you review those little games that you change the name from task to game, those needle moving actions. you review those and pick one of those. Doesn't matter which one. The one that you feel like that you can do the next day. Pick one of those and plan to do that the next day as a game. You consider that as a game, and then you pump up some dopamine and some energy into yourself. So, and then you go to sleep. The first thing you do when you wake up is what? We usually go and do something, and but never lose that time. That is another golden time. As soon as you just wake up, even before you open your eyes, even before you come out of the bed, even before you stand on the ground, as you are laying down, you have to do the mental rehearsal. So what that mental rehearsal is, that is the key to success. You have to imagine whatever the game that you planned last night. You imagine that you are doing it and you're having a good time. And especially the end scene is very important. The end scene is when you are on the podium, when you have done whatever you planned successfully and you're happy about it. So you go through that in your mind as a movie, and then you get that feeling that how amazing it is that I'm in that stage, that I finished the task, the game actually, I finished the game that I was planning for. And then what you do during the day is just play that game. If you do the first part and second part properly, the third part is natural. It's easy. It's not hard. You just start playing that game, and it moves you towards your goal. So that's the 3-step. I have an extended version in my book, but I just wanted to give that 3-step as a gift to all the viewers and everybody.
I love it. I love it, and I agree 100% with you. Is the way, because now we changing the words, yes, and because you're an engineer, you see, that's why you like problem solving, and this is,
Yeah.
you actually design a way to solve problems easy. But I agree 100% in changing the name. Actually, I'm not saying that I 12 kilos, that I lost 12 kilos, because this is, it goes against my, when you put in your mind it's a loss, the mind doesn't want to lose or regain. So
Yeah.
I always said I'm 12 kilos fitter, right?
Yeah.
So I'm changing the word, right? Because by you saying in a different way, then the subconscious mind make a different interpretation. Yeah, in the same way that write them problem, call it challenge, write that task, call it games, because when we are playing a game, we're having fun, right?
Yeah.
So we're not going to this task, oh my god, task looks like, sounds like a job. A game look like an excitement, let me see if I win, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
um, a challenge is something that you wanna embrace. A problem is something that, oh my god, the problem, you know what I mean?
Mm.
So changing the wording, and this is when we start, like you said, we start to trick our unconscious mind, and
Mm.
we start to access it, right? Because
Yeah.
on this that conscious one dominate our final behavior in everything we do, actually, right?
Mhm.
So okay, so then Farzin, what are the 5 steps? 5 steps that entrepreneurs should be doing out there to achieve the first million.
So I believe the first step is I have a protocol, it's called RISE. So R stands for recognize. We have to recognize the problem first, because we usually, what happens is that everybody says that I'm like this and I'm like that, but I myself don't accept it, because I don't, I block whatever that is inside me. That is the nature of humans. We are all like that. We don't accept whatever that is happening to us, and so we don't even see those. So the first thing is we have to recognize, and recognition is very important. Recognition is finding the things that is blocking us. For example, it might be uh, anxiety. It might be, for example, you might feel worthless. You might have a shame or shock, or sometimes we have those kind of overwhelm. Those are just the emotions that we are facing. So the question is that how can we get rid of those blockages that we have, like the emotions and beliefs? The first thing is to recognize that we have them. For example, we get angry. If we recognize at the moment that we are getting out of balance, it helps a lot. Why it helps? Because it's like a light that is inside the dark room. So you turn on the light, there's no darkness anymore. Do you remember those film cameras that we used to use all time? So nowadays everybody's using digital cameras. Many people even don't know what those film cameras are. But when you expose the film to the light, what happens? All the uh, snapshots that you took is gone, you know. You have to just develop that in the dark room to be able to just prepare the picture. So if it's exposed to the light, it is gone. So light is like that recognition. We have
Second
to
step,
recognize.
recognize. What is the second step?
The second step is integrate. Integrate is usually we have the tendency to fight with whatever we find fault with ourselves. We find that we are angry, we are stressful, we are worthless or something like that, and then we start fighting with it. We start to just pushing it back. But as you push it back, it gets stronger. You have to accept the fact, and then you have to notice that thing is helping you to get stronger. For example, you go to the gym, you lift all those weights. They are heavy, but they are helping you to build muscles, you know. So they are helping you. So instead of rejecting them, we accept them, we integrate them within ourselves. We change the scenario. And then when we integrate, the third step is surrender. Surrender means that we leave whatever that is not necessary because we are carrying all those baggages. There is a lesson in the baggage, and there is some other crap that we are carrying that is not necessary. We get the lesson, we leave everything else out. Surrender it. We say, you can leave now to that baggage. If it's anger, if it's shame, if it's jealousy, humility, unsupported, terror, whatever emotion is that you noticed and you went through that process of recognizing, integrating, now it is time to surrender it. We don't need it anymore. And then we declare, you can leave now. And then the fourth part is engage. Engage is that now that the unnecessary blockage is gone, you have the chance to develop something new to replace it. So we replace anger with tolerance. So we replace it with something, and then we start acting towards it. We start practicing the new thing that we just acquired. And then you engage your life with the new thing that you are planning to do. And that is the time that you can have all those alignments as well, because you left all the blockages out. Now you are ready. So you can start the example that I gave, the 3-step process in that stage and whatever. And even sometimes we have to fall in love with our target. Love is another magnetic field that helps you to move towards your target. You have to mentalize it and fall in love with whatever you want.
That would be the fifth step. Fall in
Yeah,
love, right?
exactly. That is the fifth step, is falling in love with whatever you want to do. So that is the fifth step. So if you do that 5 steps, then you have a smooth ride. It helps you to go towards your target easily. And I just wanted to tell you a story about my book as well. So that is an interesting story. I know that we are running out of time.
Do you have your book with you there?
Yeah, I have my
Show it to
book.
us. Show it to
Yeah,
us.
yeah,
let me see. Joyful fix.
Yeah,
How to break free from stagnation and move forward in life. Brilliant. Love it.
yeah, yeah.
Well done.
So what happened was I went to skiing a couple of years ago, and I'm a good skier because I've been skiing for more than 40 years, and
I love it. I like ski
yeah,
also.
and I never had any accident or problem. So I went through that steep slope and went down, and now I'm on the flat surface skiing. Nobody is around me, and all of a sudden I fell down. There was no reason. I don't know how it happened. It was strange. Never happened to me before. I fell down, and then I tried to get up. I couldn't move my arm. My left arm was useless.
And you
And
were
then
alone there. Wow.
yeah. And then I went to the emergency, I went to the MRI, and they said that I broke my scapula. Scapula is a big bone in your shoulder.
Wow.
And the surgeon said that I've only seen this type of fracture in car accident. How did you manage to break your scapula? And I was confused because it was a simple falling down. It was not that hard. And then what happened was like I thought this is a message for me. This is big shift. It is not normal to just fall down like this and break your bone, the big bone like that. It is something else. So I was looking for what I can do now because I couldn't use my left arm. I couldn't do anything with my left arm. But I said now I can use my right arm,
To
and
write a book.
I can start writing that book that I was delaying for a long time.
There you see?
Yeah, I started writing, and what happened was I was facing a lot of pain at the time because that kind of fracture they couldn't even cast it, they couldn't even hold it, and at night I couldn't sleep, and
Oh
I
my
had to take a
God.
lot of painkillers. But when I was writing, I couldn't feel the pain.
Yeah.
And that was something that I knew about, but I never had that first-hand experience about it. That is the flow state. That is being in the zone. When you are in the
Yeah.
zone, you are
Yeah.
so focused on the task that you are doing,
You
you don't
forget about
feel
pain and
anything.
everything.
Yeah. So I was writing my book for 12 hours, 14 hours a day in the basement, just writing and writing and
Big
writing.
job to write a book, yeah? I wrote
Yeah.
several. It's big job, yeah.
Yeah. And then what happened after a couple of weeks, I had a big manuscript. I sent it to the publisher. They said, we cannot publish it. They said, it's too much. You have to cut it down. So I
Ah.
had to cut it down to half. So I brought the half of the book into my book to be able to publish it because it's too much. I wrote too much at a time. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
Writing a book is like
published
the
it in a couple
exercise
of
for the
months.
mind, yeah? Right. When you're
Yeah.
writing a book, it's a process that is like a gym from your mind, you know? It's like
Mhm.
your mind is exercising about
Yeah.
writing and you put all your ideas, your creativity, and it's a fantastic process, yeah?
Mm.
But again, you know, something happened to you this time, right?
Yeah.
Right this time now that you're embracing the negativity and you start to blame everyone and you start to
Mm.
build that negativity, you say, you know what? Instead, I'm in a lot of pain, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna write a book. And all of a
Yeah.
sudden, the negative impact of the negative situation, it turns into a positive one. And now you're writing a book, something amazing for yourself. And all of a sudden, well, we don't want accidents to happen to us, but all of a sudden, the accident skin right and being you took it different than the
Yeah.
first one, yeah,
Exactly.
and then you have a now a different result. So it's how we take things and how we operate. So very briefly, Farzin, if somebody's listening this podcast right now and have this emotional negative baggage because they've been in the company and a lot of things you know have been stressful for them and they have a lot of negative situations stored in their unconscious mind in that body, how they can find you, how they can contact you so you can
Yeah.
help them out and how
So
is the
my
process
my
briefly.
expertise is releasing those emotions and even releasing the negative beliefs that we have. because there is a connection between the beliefs and the emotions. When we believe something that we carry, it's usually because of the emotion that is attached to that. Otherwise, we couldn't carry that belief. So I neutralize that emotional baggage that is related to that belief and replace it with the new ones. So what I do is that I remove all those blockages that are between people and their target, their goal, or whatever it is. And there's a side benefit. They get healthier, they have more energy,
Definitely.
and the immune system boosts up, and then they are a different person. I'm telling you, they are a different person after that
I
process.
believe you 100%. How they can find you, Farzin? In the website? Do you have a website?
Yes.
LinkedIn?
Yeah, I
How
have
they
a
can find you?
website. It is called joyfulfix.com.
Very good.
And in that website, there is a contact page on the website. People can leave a message. There is an option on that page that people can record their voice. They can leave a message for me, record their voice directly into the website, and then it's a private message. I receive that, and then we can set up a free consultation. We go through the process, wherever they are and wherever they want to go. We find what is between them, and then we make a plan to just remove those, and then they can have a playful success, the five-dimensional success. No hustle, no grind, easy to go,
And in that
aligned.
note,
They can be aligned with their goal.
100%. And on that note, we're going to conclude our podcast. Thank you so much, Farzin. And for every single one of you entrepreneurs out there listening to the podcast, remember what we discussed today is not about making your first million. Is how you want to make this first million, how you're going to build this wealth. Because at the end of the day, it's not only about building a company and making your first million, it's about doing it in a healthy way, so you can be an entrepreneur that is not only wealthy but also happy, healthy, and can live a beautiful life, because you deserve it. You're creating jobs for people and doing benefit for society, so you deserve, all of you entrepreneurs out there, the best life. We wish you the best life, and we have experts and tools that can help you to achieve that. So thank you so much, Farzin. That was amazing.
Before we go, I just want to mention something very short. It's another gift.
Go for it.
When people go to joyfulfix.com/quiz, there is a quiz that shows them how the level of life that they are living right now, the life quality assessment. So that is the name of that quiz, life quality assessment. So they go to joyfulfix.com/quiz. It's a 20 question quiz. It's a short one. And then it gives you the rates, the life quality assessment rates.
Wow.
And then brilliant. You know which area you can focus in life that has more effect on your success.
That's fantastic. Wow, that's amazing. And with that quiz, with that game, we don't end up our podcast. Farzin, thank you so much. And see you guys in our next edition of Unstoppable. How successful entrepreneurs break that wall and achieve the first million. Bye for now.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.